This is Fox 9 News.
So I saw the police, I said, wow, I hope it could be like this forever.
Well, relief in Brooklyn Park today as law enforcement moves in on a troubled strip mall that has been the scene of violence for weeks now. Police saturated the area at 63rd and Zane Avenues around noon in an effort to gain some control over that area. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. Our Paul Blume live tonight at Brooklyn Park Police Headquarters.
And Paul, what is the latest on that corner? I know we've been talking about it for a few days now. And for some perspective for our viewers, it's right across the street from the Crystal Airport, right?
Exactly, Randy. Kelsey, so far so good. I'm told this operation has been largely peaceful with just a single arrest. Of course, this law enforcement action comes after weeks of turmoil and chaos for that strip mall and the surrounding neighborhood. How intimidating has it been recently?
It's really intimidated. The city of Brooklyn Park need to do something about it.
Those familiar with this corner of Brooklyn Park and the police finally said enough is enough, with law enforcement taking back the strip mall at 63rd and Zane Avenues.
I've never seen this kind of lawlessness in 30 years. The residents that have been here for a period of time have also said they've never seen anything like this as well. So the pressure's on us to try to get control.
For weeks, police have described the area as a source of mayhem and violence, with some of the trouble captured on nearby surveillance cameras. In that time, authorities report at least half a dozen shootings, in addition to weapons and drug complaints as large crowds gathered in and around the shops deep into the night. But because of the anti-law enforcement sentiment on the ground and volatility that they had encountered, officers were forced to take a reactive posture, unable to get the upper hand.
You wouldn't believe it. I mean, there's been a lot of public outcry about, I can't believe what's going on down here.
Around noon Wednesday, with the strip mall quiet, Brooklyn Park Police, with the help of Brooklyn Center and the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, moved in to saturate the block. In the process, they arrested one young man on a trespass violation. The plan was to quite literally hold on to this real estate, perhaps for days, and ensure the safety of those wanting to shop here, with the understanding that the group might try and return at some point.
What we've seen is that the folks that are showing up to cause trouble are showing up in the later afternoon and then into the evening. So we tried to get here ahead of that so that hopefully we can peacefully solve this problem without having to do other things.
And the police chief did go on to tell me they will closely monitor what happens in the hours ahead, the overnight. The plan again to stay in place, saturation, 15-20 law enforcement officers on scene in the days ahead. Again, the hope is everything can resolve peacefully and that strip mall can remain a safe place to visit and do business. Reporting live from Brooklyn Park Police Headquarters tonight, Paul Blume, Fox 9.
New here at 9, Minneapolis paint store manager is in intensive care tonight after intervening in an apparent attempted carjacking on Tuesday.
His family says that Jacob Babcock was shot in the back while protecting a woman held at gunpoint in broad daylight. As Paul Blume tells us, those close to Jacob are calling him a hero for his actions that nearly killed him.
I was partly mad at him after he was okay, because he's my baby brother and he doesn't hesitate to help anybody.
Jacob Babcock's sister and best friend could not be more proud after the 34-year-old Sherwin-Williams store manager rushed outside his Lake Street shop on Tuesday noontime to come to the aid of a woman in distress. According to Jacob's account from the hospital, he and a co-worker heard her screaming as two suspects each had a gun pointed at her in an apparent attempt to steal her car. The suspects, startled, shot Jacob in the back as they took off.
It doesn't sound like he took any time to think about, oh, these guys might pull this gun on me. It was, how do I help this woman?
He has a chest tube in, and then they're cleaning his gunshot wound because it was an entry in the back with no exit, and kind of watching the bullet fragments right now.
Christina reports Jacob, a father of two young children, as well as a husband, is in intensive care with injuries to his shoulder blade, ribs, and lung. His story of bravery, a good Samaritan just trying to help in a violent situation on the streets of South Minneapolis, resonating tonight. A pair of online GoFundMe sites already generating some $30,000 in assistance for his young family. We're told when Jacob woke up in the hospital, his first concern was for the woman's well-being. He tried to assist, as well as his employees who witnessed the shooting in broad daylight.
I think he would do it again in so much as Jake is somebody who's going to always try to look out for people, and he doesn't have enough regard for himself to not intervene, and I think that's a beautiful quality.
Because of the nature of Jacob's injuries and where the bullet is lodged, his loved ones actually believe Jacob was shot while turning around to get the license plate on the fleeing vehicle. At last check, unfortunately, MPD reports no arrest in this case. Paul Blume, Fox 9.